Hi, beautiful people. So, some of you know that I try to go raw, completely raw vegan for one day in the week because it makes me feel so awesome. So, I started off my day with coconut water, which is the perfect way to start your day to hydrate your body and prepare it for the meals that you're going to have. So, I had coconut water straight from the nut, followed by some jelly. And I had this around 12 o'clock after I fasted for the morning period. Next, I'm going to show you how I prepare my raw lunch. We're going to have cucumber noodles. And here are my ingredients. Just basic ingredients, nothing too extra, all right? Because I want to taste my veggies. So I start off by soaking my cucumbers in apple cider vinegar because I'm going to keep the skin on, and I just like to soak all of my veggies in apple cider vinegar just to get rid of any impurities. After it soaks for about 15-20 minutes, I wash it as well. I wash it with soap and I scrub the skin just to make sure everything is off, and then I begin to use my handheld shredder to make my noodles. If you have a spiralizer, you can also use that and make curly noodles. I am using the handheld one. And just a quick note, I do not throw away the core. I keep them in the fridge, and when mommy is juicing, she juices them along with her regular cucumbers. But I don't feel right throwing away the core. So I am shredding just about 5 cucumbers. I eat a lot of cucumbers on my raw days because it's very lightweight and you want to be full and you want to be nourished when you're eating raw. So I eat quite a lot of cucumbers in my noodles. Now, as you know, cucumbers are very high in vitamins and it's very good for you, as we all know. But on top of that, cucumbers are just about 96% water. They are filled with water and they're very hydrating. Now, because of this, when you're using cucumbers to make noodles, it's important to kind of pat it dry and get some of the extra water out of it because you'll end up with very soggy noodles. So as I'm shredding the noodles, you will realize that I'm spreading it on the towel and I'm patting it dry. And I'm kind of layering towels on top of each other to help get the liquid out. Now that I'm done shredding, as you can see, I've layered it under some towels. I have about 2 layers and I have towels and paper towels, and I'm going to leave that to dry while I prep the rest of my meal. I just cut up some chive and put that aside. And now I'm going to make my tahini sauce. All you need for your tahini sauce is tahini. I'm going to put about 3 heaping scoops of tahini in here because I'm making a big batch to last me at least until tomorrow. So I have 3 heaped scoops of tahini. Next, I'm going to put in some lime juice. Lime or lemon, either one is fine. I'm going to put in some pink Himalayan salt to taste. Now, those 3 ingredients are all you really need for tahini sauce. Tahini, lime or lemon, and salt. That's all you need. However, you know me, I'm a little bit extra, so I'm putting in some green seasoning along with some dill and rosemary, not too much. And I'm also going to put in some pepper sauce because I love my food spicy. So you don't have to add those things, but you definitely need the basics, which are tahini, lime or lemon juice, and pink Himalayan salt. Then you're going to put that in your food processor, and you want a nice thin texture. So you're going to add some water to thin it out a little bit. After you've processed it for a little bit, you add some water until you get a nice thin consistency. This is still too thick, so I add some more water and I process it again. Now this is the perfect consistency. So just go with the flow, keep checking it and check for the right consistency. You'll know when it's done. Okay? So you see this nice creamy yet liquidy liquid. This is how we want it. We don't want it too thick and we don't want it too thin. Just right in the middle. Creamy and smooth. This sauce is going to make your cucumber noodles taste like heaven. Trust me. So like I said, I made a big batch. So I'm just going to put this in a container so that I can store it for when I feel for some tahini sauce. You can have this with just regular salads. This can be just a regular salad dressing. You can use it in sandwiches as well. You can use it for lots of things. It's really tasty. And because this sauce is completely raw, it can last in the fridge for quite some time. Okay, so store it. All right, so by now, as you can see, my paper towel is extremely saturated with water. So I think I have enough water out of it. So now I'm just going to take it out of the paper towels and add them to my bowl. So just a quick note, I do not throw away these paper towels because all that's in there is cucumber water. Like there's no need to throw them away. So I just hang them to dry and then I reuse them either for my hands or for the tabletop. And I think that's okay. All right, so as you can see, I added some sesame oil to this and some sage. And I'm just going to toss it around and kind of rub my spoon into them just to make sure that the sesame oil is being coated deeply and evenly into the cucumber. You can use your hands to do this, and that will ensure that the oil is actually being rubbed into the cucumbers, but I am using my spoon today because I am sharing. So I just did one batch of the cucumber. Now I'm going to do a second batch. I don't do it all together because doing it all together, there might be some cucumbers that don't get coated evenly. So I do it in portions, half portions. So now I'm putting the second half along with my liquid aminos, my sesame oil, and some sage again. And I'm just going to use my spoon just as before, and I'm going to rub that in to the second layer. And then I'm just going to mix it all up together, and hopefully the entire thing is coated with our sesame oil and liquid aminos. Now, you can skip this part. If you're trying to cut oils in your diet, if you're trying to cut salt in your diet, then there isn't any need to add these two things. I just like to add it because it brings out a great flavor. Once you have fully marinated your cucumbers, now it is time to combine your cucumbers with your tahini sauce. And here it is, creamy and delicious. So first, I actually toss my tahini sauce into the cucumbers and then a top layer of tahini sauce to top it off. Here it is, fully raw, fully vegan. Today is my raw day, so here it is. It's so good. You need to try this. Do not knock it until you try it. It's awesome. All right, so yeah, let me dive into this for you. Oh my God, this is so good. It's so fresh. It's so fresh and it's so good. And 100% raw. Okay, let me go dive in. I really hope you try this meal. It's so hydrating and crisp, delicious and nutritious. And if you're trying to get your kids to eat more vegetables, this just may be the way to go. I also wanted to show you how I would package this meal if I had to go to work. For dinner, I'll be making some mini kale wraps with mango sauce. I'm just gonna use some green mangoes to make a mango sauce. I just felt like using some green mangoes. I felt like it would bring out a different flavor than the ripe mangoes when I make salsa with it. So I'm just trying it with green mangoes this time. However, my mangoes looked green on the outside, but once I peel them, they were not completely green. So they were in between ripe and green. It still worked, but next time I'm going to ensure that they're fully green because I want to have that tangy, soury taste. So in my mango sauce, I just have some basic ingredients here. I have some celery and some shadow benny. I have flavor pepper, salt, black pepper, and the 2 mangoes. Very simple sauce. All right, then I'm gonna cut out the core from my purple kale. This is purple kale, and the purple kale, the leaves are wider and you're able to make little wraps with them. All right, and of course, I'm gonna massage my kale with olive oil. Next, I'm gonna make my raw meat for my wraps. My raw meat is going to be very simple because I feel like all the flavor is going to be in the mango sauce. So in here, all I have is my soaked walnuts. I have some steak seasoning. I have onions, purple onions, tomatoes, and sweet peppers. I also put a little bit of olive oil in there. Now, if you're trying to have a low fat diet, then don't add oils like I add. I add oils because I want to be high in fat. So I process this. I don't process it for too long because I want it to be chunky and meaty looking, okay? So here is my raw vegan meat to go into my wraps. I'm also going to be adding some zaboka avocado to my wraps as well. As you can see, I've thinly sliced them. So I just layer them on top of the kale and then I'm just going to wrap them. Simple. Here are my wraps. I also decided to make some nori wraps, seaweed wraps, just because I felt for that seaweed taste as well. So I'm having that with my mango sauce, and this is dinner. And just keep in mind that raw day does not always have to be so extravagant. On your raw days, you can just have fruits and veggies all day, you know, and lots of coconut water. And yeah, just fruits that will nourish your body and replenish your body. So you don't always have to go all out like this on raw day. Like I said previously, some days I just feel very extra and some days I'm chill. Yeah, so today's an extra day. All right, so here it is. Let me bite in and let you know how it tastes. Okay, should I have my nori wrap first or my kale wrap first? I don't know. All right, let me start with kale. All right, so I'm gonna dip it in my sauce. You can't see all this, but I'm dipping it in my sauce, my mango sauce. So fresh. It's so fresh and crisp. I love raw day. I love raw day because raw day, I get to taste everything for what it is. Now I'm gonna do my nori wrap, my seaweed wrap. Let's go. See all that raw goodness? The seaweed, if you love sushi, the seaweed gives it a whole different flavor. So yeah, I'm gonna go dive in. Let's pause for a second to talk about seaweed. Seaweed is so nutritious, it's so good for you. And there are raw seaweeds available, just not in Tobago. In Tobago, they sell roasted seaweed. So technically, seaweed is not a raw meal. And I wanted to point that out so I can show you that even if you are 98% raw in a day, or even 89% raw in a day, it's okay. It doesn't take away from the fact that you're having a raw day. Just try to limit as many processed foods as you can. So that is it for all the prepared meals of raw day. Other than those meals, I will just be snacking on fruits. Mango, I'm so happy it's mango season. I'll also have some avocado if I feel hungry again. And as you notice, I go with the flow of my body. I go with how I feel, if I feel hungry or if I don't feel hungry. So if I don't feel hungry, that would be it for the rest of the day. If I do feel hungry at some point, then I will have something raw to munch on. All right, and then tomorrow it's back to cooked foods. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this version of what I eat in a day, raw day style. And I hope that you're able to incorporate some of my way of eating into your way of eating as well. You don't have to just take all of me. You can, let's blend, let's come together, take some of who I am and make it your own. The important thing is to make it your own. For anyone who really knows me, you would know that I'm not good with labels. I don't like to label myself as anything. But in this world, I have no choice but to give myself a label. And I actually rather not label myself a vegan. But yeah, just by using that word to describe myself, it gives you an understanding of, at least a little bit of an understanding of who I am. Because who I am is actually way deeper than what I eat. There's much more to me. So maybe as time goes on, you'll be able to figure me out. All right, but in any case, I hope you had a great raw day, and share with me. Comment below, like, share, subscribe, send me a message, and share your meals with me as well. I would really appreciate it. All right, bye, beautiful people. Oh, wait, before you go, for those of you who have a sweet tooth at the end of the day, and for those of you who love ice cream, but you're no longer able to have ice cream, here is a great alternative. You just need some frozen bananas, and you can add any other frozen fruits, and you just put them in your food processor along with a little touch of almond milk. When I say a little touch of almond milk just to help it blend, and you end up with the perfect vegan ice cream. This is not the healthiest because, to be honest, I'm not a fan of frozen fruits, especially store-bought frozen fruits. If we buy our own fruits and chop them up and freeze them, I'm a fan of that. But I'm really not a fan of these frozen store-bought fruits. But I bought them just to show you this awesome alternative for ice cream and for when you have a sweet tooth. This is banana, strawberry, blueberry ice cream, vegan ice cream.